This content is made for adult collectors. If you're under the age of 18, get the heck out of here. Hello guys, I am S3D and today I'm doing the part 1 review of the Bandai Tamashii Nations Metal Bill Double Quanta from Gundam 00. So anyway, if you've seen the unboxing video, I talk about this figure, doing the unboxing. One thing I didn't show is the this piece right here. This is actually stuck on the back of the styrofoam box. So it's actually two pieces. We got this translucent clear flat piece right here, and then we got this ring right here. Okay, so anyway, and as intended, these videos here for Bandai Metal Bill figures are intended for adult collectors. I mean, these are high-end collectibles over $200. So if you're under the age of 18, an adult is anyone over the age of 18 in the state of California, where YouTube and Google publish their videos. Also, if you're watching this on Vimeo, it's the same story. State of New York, you have to be over the age of 18 to be considered an adult. So, adult collector products intended for adult viewers. If you're under the age of 18, this is not for you. So, I would like to ask you nicely to not be watching these type of videos. Okay, so there we go. So right here we have the display base right here. These are very typical of the Metal Bill figures, as always. I think they're all pretty much the same. This stabilizing post right here, it's a very reminiscent of the high grade action base or the master grade action base. It's actually a little bit more complex than that. So you can see you have a lift arm right here that allows you to change the elevation of the base itself, and then you can lock it in right here like that. So that's the locking mechanism. So yeah, it's actually very sturdy. I do like this base quite a bit. So you want to be careful with these. I think it's sturdy enough to hold the figure without it like falling off and stuff like that. And you also have another section right here that you can use to elevate, position the figure and stuff like that. So that's very nice. You can push this in right here, and then this thing allows you to lock this mechanism in place like that. So I'm just gonna put it like a little bit like that. I'm gonna raise it like so, and then we're gonna lock it in right here like that. And then you also have the pivot point right here on top. Surprisingly though, you do actually need to use an adapter to put Quanta on here. So quite surprising. And you can lock that in right there with this pin. You just push it through, and then this point will not rotate anymore. So let's go ahead and lock it in like that. And I'm going to show you another gimmick. Right here you have tabs. Basically this allows you to connect this piece right here. There's a peg that goes in here. Got the lift arm right here. This is intended for this piece right here. So you got the peg hole right there on the bottom. You see that, and that connects right there. Okay, so I'm gonna set the stand aside. There we go. And we're gonna look at this. So this is the piece that allows you to hold the GM Buster Sword, I think, when it's activated. Obviously, you don't want to use this to hold the figure. And you also got another extra adapter here. So if you want to connect extra effect parts and stuff like that, you can do that via this piece. It's actually two pieces. You just, you can set them wherever you want. There you go. And then we also got this extender here, right here. These are intended, you can use it right here on this side, right there, or you can use it right here. If you want to display extra effects. This is basically intended for, the GM Buster Sword. So you use it in conjunction with this piece right here. so you can hold on to the GM Buster Sword. Now, believe it or not, the joints on this figure is strong enough to hold the GM Buster Sword in its entirety without, you know, the arms sagging, like the Master Grade. And the Master Grade, I don't think even the real grade can do it. So, yeah. Obviously, the high grade can't do it either. The high grade can kind of hold it for a while, but then the body will start sagging. And we're talking about the model kit. The Robot Tamashii figure can actually do it. Yeah, the Robot Tamashii Quanta figure can actually hold the GM Buster Sword. But then you'll eventually sag too. So there we go. We have that. We got this little tool piece right here. I think this is used to separate, you know, the GN sword bits once you get them attached to the figure. So, yeah, if you're having problems getting the GN sword bits off of these connectors, you can use this piece right here to separate the pieces. Let me see if there's any picture here that shows you how to do that. Well, unfortunately, no. Oh, you know what? I made a mistake. This is not a part separator. I just saw it in the manual. This is actually intended for the battery. So right here, this is the battery placement unit. And I guess we'll eventually get to that. So there you go. This is how you separate the battery. Right there. And the battery is sold separately. So you have to buy it. Anyway, that's the instruction manual. Always refer to the instruction manual on these high-end collectible figures if you do not intend to mess it up, you know. Alright, so there we go. We have the GN sword bits on the shield right here. We're gonna very carefully remove them. There we go. There's one piece right here. There's the, I think next, the third part, I'm gonna talk about the GN Buster Sword. So stay with me here. The next part, the second part, I'm gonna show you guys the quantum burst mode. So, alright. Anyway, so get very carefully remove these parts right here. I think this is like clip in right here, like that. Again, you know, if you feel unsure, please refer to the manual. You don't want to, you know, mess up your figure. So, what do we do here? All right, so it's basically, it's recommended that you separate the bottom part first. And how do we do that exactly? Well, I think I'm gonna separate the top part first. So, it's a downward angle right here, so you just disconnect it right here. You know, honestly, this thing's quite a chore. Well, at least the connection is very solid, so you don't have to worry about it, like, you know, falling off and stuff like that. But yeah, it's quite a pain in the butt to get this thing to separate. There we go. Okay, that's not what I intended to do, but there we go. There's that. And to get this thing off, you want to be very careful. You do not want to break this tab right there. So there we go. You pull it out separately like that, and then you are trying to disengage it like so. There we go. So you disengage that like so. Here's the tab. Basically, this thing just slides in right here. I think it slides in right there like that. Let's see. I want to get an idea how this thing properly connects. Because the manual is actually very vague about it. Okay, you see this tab right here? See, this thing just slides in like that and then holds it in place. It's kind of weird. Yeah. Anyway, I'll figure it out. So there we go. Here's one of the weapons. Like that. I guess like a GN dagger. And look at that. There's like a little nut piece right here. That's great quality control for high-end $200 figure. Not knocking on Bandai because I've seen this kind of stuff with high-end toys, like even other brands, other type of products as well. So yeah, for the most part, the workmanship is pretty damn nice. So can't really fault them for like one or two little mishaps. So there we go. This is the longer version of the sword. And then we also have the little blade on the side. Right here, this one. You just pull this piece right there. Again, you can use all of these as weapons for the Quanta. So very nice. Okay, so now that we got all the stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and try this again. So there we go. So basically, now that I learned how to do it, you separate these tabs from this section right there, and then you just pull this. You separate this like that. There we go. It's a lot easier now that I figure out how to do it. And for this piece, it's the same thing. So you just pull it out like that, and you kind of slide it out of position. This one is still kind of tricky, so bear with me here. So you can see that tab is connected. You want to like to slide down on it so it can become dislodged like that. There we go. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but the plastic that they use is pretty solid. So I don't think you're gonna run into some serious breakage issues. But you never know. Always be careful with these figures, high-end adult collectibles. Don't treat it like a kid's toy, or it will break just like a kid's toy. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and get Quanta up here on the stand. Make sure he's properly connected so he doesn't fall off. There we go. He is kind of side heavy because the GN shield thing actually has some weight to it. So there we go. Seems to be somewhat sagging to the side. Alright, so maybe I can remedy that by posing it like that. There we go. Makes it a little bit more balanced. The whole figure feels very solid. Now I have experienced some looseness right here in the leg joints, the hips, but other than that, this thing is rock solid. Okay, so we are going to do the quantum burst mode here. So basically, you have this piece. This one is intended for this section right here. And this just clips in right here to this tab. There we go. And you want to repeat that with this piece right here. So right there, you see the tab. Tap that in there like so. Set that aside. Next, we have this piece right here. So this piece, you have this connector point right there. You plug that in here like so. And what do you do here with this one? Like that. I'm hoping I'm doing okay. No, I'm not doing this right. So I did a reverse. So you have to follow this groove right there. You see that groove right there? That's intended so you can do this. Yeah. So make sure you follow the groove. Groove is facing this way. So this thing should be attached this way so it can fold properly like that. Okay, next we have the last piece. Last piece should be pretty easy. You put the handle away like that, and this thing just want to do it this way. So this piece, the slope section, goes in here like that, and there we go. Then you push this in like so. There we go. Alright, so again, slope section facing forward, like that. You push it in. There's 2 tabs in there. So it just goes in like that. Boom. There you go. During the unboxing, I was kind of underwhelmed by this figure, but now I'm a little bit more impressed. This is actually very nice engineering, and the figure itself is solid. I've been messing with it for about 15 minutes now, and I have to say I'm actually quite impressed. So, a lot more than the Double O and the Exia. Exia is about, Exia actually came out in 2011 or 2010, so it's about like close to 9 years old. Obviously, there's some engineering flaws that they never overcome because they just keep reissuing the figure over and over. So, unfortunately, because people keep buying it. So, maybe one day we'll get like a 2.0 Metal Build Exia or something like that. So anyway, let's go ahead and attach the GN shield bits. Make sure I'm doing this right. Okay. There's a very specific way you're supposed to attach these parts. So there we go. There's 1, 2. You have to attach it in this specific way because that's what the instruction manual shows. So, I guess on the bottom here, you have the peg hole right here, and then you get the small one right there in this corner. And then you have this piece right here, and then you have this piece. Oh, and my phone is running out of battery. So, let me go ahead and plug in the power source. So it doesn't die while I'm filming. Next, we have this piece that goes right here, like that. There we go. Then we have this piece that goes right here. These things are very sharp, so definitely be careful. And this is why these type of figures are definitely not intended for children. I mean, it's $200. Unless you're like super rich, very wealthy. I don't know. I've seen parents buying Metal Build figures for their kids before. So I'm not like, saying that. Very, very rich parents. So. And by children, I mean like their teenage sons and stuff like that. I think parents bought this for their 15-year-old sons, kids, stuff like that. I never seen parents buying these type of figures for like anyone under the age of 15. Same with Hot Toys. So, all right, I have this last piece. I think this is intended like that. There we go. Alright, so I need to rotate this like that. So all the blade section is supposed to be facing one direction. So it looks like it's spinning, kind of, like a giant shuriken or something like that. And what you do here is you just plug this right in here so he can teleport. The Quanta can teleport to another dimension. Or, no, across the universe, basically. Alright, let me adjust the camera right there, and there you go. There's the Quanta in the quantumized teleportation mode. Ooh, okay. See, like I said, you gotta kind of be careful with this. Alright, and you get a haircut. This thing doesn't seem to want to plug in properly. I don't know why. I think that might be a design flaw right there. And I think I want to adjust this a little bit so it looks like the Quanta is facing forward. Remember to always lock this in. You don't want your figure go flying, tumbling forward. Like that. And yeah, there's a couple gripes I have with this figure, and we'll get into that eventually at some point, because there's a lot to talk about here with the Quanta. Alright, I don't know if I can get all this in screen right here, and yeah, this is quickly becoming a problem, because this thing is so big and my display section isn't enough to do this thing properly. I wish this piece would plug in a little better. Otherwise, every time it bump into something, it just like to come off. Yeah. There we go. I don't know if I can move the camera back a little bit more. This piece right here doesn't look right. There we go. There's a teleportation function. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Okay, and that's coming off. Okay, so that's the teleportation gimmick. Next, we're going to talk about the quantum burst mode. I'm going to take off all the armor and stuff like that, so stay tuned for that video. And that is pretty much it for this video at this point. Thanks for watching.